gas prices, and we'll jump into our full outlook, our demand forecast for October, November, since September is pretty much behind us, transmission generation outages, our view on tide flows, as well as retirements, and we'll finish up with a summary. So just to do a quick recap, as you've noticed, we had a pretty uneventful summer, probably 1 or 2 heat waves, including one in September that brought up some volatility. But overall, we had El Nino Southern Oscillation, which brings neutral impact, and that persisted throughout the whole summer. So touch cooler than past recent years, slightly cool August. We'll compare in the next few slides with previous years, with June, July on average temperatures. So pretty much it's verified with our Genscape forecast for the summer. So had participation-wise, we had slightly wetter northern New England and then drier southern New England, but overall, again, general average precipitation levels throughout the whole summer. This is more of a look back, 2011 to 2014, just to give you some comparison to where we panned out for this summer compared to past couple of summers, and that's on-peak averages, excluding weekends, excluding weekends for June, July, and August. So as you can see, we've cleared pretty much the lowest that we have seen since 2011, with probably with August being the lowest month pretty much throughout all the 4 years. Same thing in day ahead as well as the real time. So not much volatility seen this past couple of months. This is just looking at historical demand, and that was the main driver for the lack of volatility here. We've seen pretty low June, July. June, July again was more average, and then August plummeted on average to 16.9 gigs. That's your day ahead cleared load. And in real time, 17.6 for August. That's another different, more representation of our load for past couple of years. Looking at gas prices, just as a result of low load and lack of significant pipeline constraints, we've seen the lowest EGT and TGP that we have seen in quite some time. So that's pretty much sums up the summer, uneventful compared to what we have seen past summer and probably what we have seen last winter and what we'll see this winter. So just full outlook expectations that we have for October, November. So pretty much cool air overall is going to keep temperatures above normal, probably a degree or two. Very limited impact in October, and very limited impact on November as well. So just looking overall, we're seeing the 60s and 70s, high to low 60s and low 70s expected for October and November months, with November seeing slightly warmer than average. So the heating load, the impact of the heating load is expected to be less than normal. This is our historical fall demand that we've seen for the past couple of years. Again, this is for September, October, November. And as you can see, we expect it to be less in load than 2013. So we're looking at between 15 to 16 gigs for October and November months. So going into transmission outages, so we sift through a couple of outages that they've posted, and I know they've been, they do update it on daily basis, but this is the most recent one that we've been seeing. So as you have noticed, we have phase 1 and 2 derates, and that's already started. It started on Saturday, and it's going to go on until October 5th. And what it did is cut New York with Hydro-Quebec imports by 1,400 cut New England, sorry, by 1,400 megawatts. And we've been seeing some upside on gas just because it's coinciding with the highest, we're going into the generation outages season, and according to New England, we're going to be seeing the highest outages coming in the next, in mid-October. So that with an outages of phase 1 and 2 as well, that we're expecting October 19th to the 26th, will bring some volatility for October month. We also had some work on TGP and Cromwell, on AGT and Cromwell stations, so we're seeing a bit of an upside on gas as well. The other big outage that we're seeing is that we're going to have a derate with New York at one point coming up in October, and that's going to cut, like New York's been compensating with phase 1 and 2 outage right now with day ahead averaging 11 to 1200 megawatts into New England. So with phase 1 back on, we usually see around 500 to 400 megawatts of imports from New York into New England, but it also depends on the gas pricing over here. But with phase 1 to back on, I think we'll see similar impacts with New York going out mid-October. Also, we have few Orrington works that we're expecting, and that's going to be more closer towards November. Those are transformer works on 345 kV, and that typically has a bearish main congestion. So October is going to be driven by tie line outages with phase 1 and 2 as well as New York, and then some internal congestion in Maine will be main thing in November. We also had, just looking at, we had unplanned Coast-Down cable outage, and that's going to continue, I think, until the 7th. It's still down to 0 TTC, so we have been sending very limited over into Long Island, pretty much 0. So this is just a graphical representation of the tide flows that we've been seeing, plus we just compared October 2012 and October 2013. And that pretty much cut back hydro-Quebec imports by 1,300 megawatts past week. For November, we're not really anticipating any tie line outages at this point unless they do update it further down the month. And this is just an average import-export for November 2012 and 2013, so you get some kind of estimation of how the power flows in and out of New England. So going into gas, I think it's been trading slightly higher. We had over $4 gas past couple of weeks. We did see TGP station 261 outage. That was last week, I think, and that pretty much dropped the limits down to 400, and that caused quite a lot of gas volatility. I mean, if you guys have been looking at the market, we've been trading up close to $5 on average. So going forward the next couple of months, we do anticipate some work at the end of October. It's very similar to what we saw last week, but not to the same extent. We're probably going to drop down by 294 down to 600. So the impact is not going to be as strong, but I'm pretty sure we will trade up again, probably closer to $4 to $5 going forward at the end of October. And it also depends on demand. If we still trail on low demand levels that we're seeing right now, I don't think we're going to have too much of an impact. We'll also have some November work on station 266, but right now we're not sure how much of an impact it's going to have on the pipeline capacity. So generation retirement-wise, I think everybody's aware of the fact that Vermont Yankee is going out on outage. I mean, complete derate. We will lose 605 megawatts of nuclear generation in New England, and considering we already relying heavily on gas plants, that kind of reliance on gas prices is going to go up even further. There's nothing else as of right now for this winter coming in to help relieve this, but just a quick background, it's 605 megawatt unit. It started derating as we speak, I think as of two weeks ago. It's called Coast-Down period. So they're going to start derating until the final shutdown, and that's supposed to be closer to the end of December. We've had a couple of questions before if we think they'll come off completely before the date. We don't have that information, but we don't think they will. Just looking from reliability perspective, I think they will stay online till the shut-off date. And as a result, we did see the Algonquin City Gate basis swap for January increase 50 cents the moment because of the Vermont Yankee shutdown. So this pretty much sums it up. Demand, we anticipate very mild temperatures for October, November, slightly above average load, slightly above average temperatures. Gas-wise, upside in early October, as we're seeing right now, and end of October on some TGP constraints. Generation-wise, we're going to use the Vermont Yankee. We did run a supply stack with Vermont Yankee out with 456 on gas, and just give you a ballpark average that brought our base case for Mass Hub by $6. Imports-wise, we do anticipate bullish impact with Hydro-Quebec and New York outages, and transmission-wise, mainly bearish November in Maine. So that's pretty much it. That sums up our full outlook. I'll just give a couple of minutes to see if anybody has questions and if anybody wants just to reach us offline. Thank you. So it doesn't seem that we have that many questions right now, and I understand the nature of full outlook. Please join us for New York Outlook on Thursday, and definitely for the winter one. That should be quite exciting. If you have any questions, please offline, or if you think of anything else, please message us at Genscape NEPOOL or Genscape New York ISO, and we'll be happy to answer. Again, thank you very much.